Questions?
When we look at Iowa, supposedly they've opened things up a little bit offensively. I mean, are you seeing that? And then better as a quarterback, what kind of dimensions is it?
Well, I think the quarterbacks had an outstanding year. I think they're second in the conference as far as explosive plays. He's done a great job hitting the deep ball, and he's athletic enough where he's had some very successful plays where if guys were covered, especially when they get to empty third down, he's able to gain a lot of yards on the ground. So he's an athletic quarterback we got to be conscious of in the run game, not necessarily a zone read or things you'd characteristically think of, but he's a guy that can tuck the ball down and be able to hurt you running the ball. So been impressed with him so far this year.
Connor Cook a little bit, a big kid who is pretty multi-dimensional, can make plays.
Well, Connor Cook obviously had an impressive day against us from a standpoint of just we knew that if we didn't get him moving when he's stationary, he's dangerous. And we played some good quarterbacks this year so far. The Western Kentucky and the Ohio State and Penn State, but Connor Cook was outstanding against us. Really made some key throws, especially in the red zone, and we had guys on him. We just need to go up and compete and make those 50-50 plays.
I mean, it looked like to me there were defenders in the vicinity virtually every play,
yeah,
and the play just didn't get made often enough.
Well, that's what we tried to show. One of the exercises we did after the game was we showed the entire defense some of those big plays, and I think the guys up front were a little bit amazed at how tight the coverage was by our young secondary. So I think for us, whether it's third down, whether it's the fourth quarter, we need to, as a group, as a team, be able to either get off the field in those certain third downs where we didn't against Michigan State, or especially when the time comes late in the game, we need to rally and make some stops we've made early in the game and in the third quarter.
Your linebackers, your front seven really played downhill. I mean, TJ had a bad wheel, but he was coming. Did you like what you saw from that point?
Our guys were locked in, and obviously early against the run. I think the very first run play was a power that TJ hit in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. So they were locked in and were very aggressive against the run. And in the Big Ten, you have to start with stopping the run, because if you allow a team, which late in the game when Michigan State was able to run the ball, all right, it really gets you behind. So we start every game with how can we stop the run.
Brian, is there a sense that your kids, your young ones, your freshmen, guys who have not played as well before this year, is there a sense that these guys kind of hit the wall a little bit, maybe this bye week came at a good time?
I think the bye week did come at a good time. I think our guys are certainly, as we break that season down into 3 blocks, our September, October, November, as we get ready for this November run, the bye week couldn't have come at a better time, especially those young kids like you talked about. Some of those young guys, Jonathan Crawford played over 500 snaps already. So some of those young guys, just a chance for them to catch their breath. And, we didn't practice them that hard. They had time off, but we still were able to prep for Iowa. So I think they'll be very well prepared for Iowa, yet I think they'll have that energy they need for the November run.
Just when you talk about making plays, making more competitive plays, especially in the secondary, can it be kind of contagious at some point when you actually get that first kind of tangible result where some just kind of build off?
I think so. You look at the last few games we've had, we've had 1 turnover. Okay, so we haven't been able to turn them over like we did early in the season, and I think whether it's the batted balls, we didn't have the batted balls we had in the early season, the forced fumbles, the pass deflections. So those are things that I think once it gets on a roll, once we encourage it, we've been trying to chart those in practice, just really reinforce, when we're playing well, we have great ball disruption, whether it's just batting balls down or making breaks on balls. So we're really trying to get our guys, and I think that's, the formula for us early in the season was taking the ball away, all right, being great on third down. That's what we got to get back to.
I know he's not exactly an old guy himself, but what do you need from a guy like Rashard Higgins when you do talk about a freshman getting up to like 500 snaps through the first 10 games? What do you need from a guy like that as a veteran in that secondary group? Maybe guide some of those younger players through whatever they're going through.
I think the thing we challenge Rashard with is just being an everyday player, whether it's practice, whether it's in the meeting room, because he's the older, him and Chase Dutra are the older guys in that meeting room, and whether it's Tyler Green, Andre Brown, Jonathan Crawford, Jamil Cook, those guys are going to look up to Chase and Rashard and see how they do it. Rashard hasn't played as much, so he doesn't have that experience maybe that Chase does before this season, but I think what we need from them right now is to be great leaders and show those young guys the proper way to prepare. All right, thank you.
All right.